all day long. Waited till the light was gone. I'm still waiting. Waited in the pouring rain. Waited till the very last train. I'm still waiting. I know you like to keep me hanging on, string me along. You come and you go like a whisper on the wind. I know you like to keep me mystified, teary-eyed. As soon as you're gone, that's when I begin. Waiting. Waiting. Waited up the whole night through. Waited in the dark for you. I'm still waiting. I know you like to keep me hanging on, you string me along. You come and you go like a whisper on the wind. I know you like to keep me mystified, teary-eyed. As soon as you're gone, that's when I begin. I know you like to keep me hanging on, string me along. You come and you go like a whisper on the wind. I know you like to keep me mystified, teary-eyed. As soon as you're gone, that's when I begin. Waiting. Waiting. Waiting.
The name of that song is titled Waiting, and it was written and performed by my special guest today, Bob Bradshaw. Bob, welcome to the Friday Afternoon Music Mix.
Thank you so much, Greg. I'm delighted to be here.
It's an absolute pleasure to have you. I was introduced to your brand new album, which is your 10th album, called The Art of Feeling Blue by your radio promoter, Matt. And I fell in love with it the minute I heard it. He offered to contact you to have you be on my show, and I was real excited to have you here today. Let's talk a little bit about this new album. You've been in the United States now. You're Irish originally.
That's
And
correct.
30 years in the United States, 10 albums. You describe yourself published short story writer and a failed novelist. I love that.
Well, I was rejected. It's not like I was published and didn't sell. I never got to that stage.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
So music was it.
Well, yeah, I guess, yeah, and more. I mean, into my 60s now, and it kind of is. I was a street musician in my 20s around Europe, got a green card in a lottery to come to the States in 1989. Came to New York, then went to San Francisco, started a band, and I haven't put out an album every 3 years. It's been 4 or 5 years, and now over the last 12 years, it's an album every 2 years. So that's where the 10 albums come from.
I see. And I know you said you have been in and out of music over your career. There's times when you were doing other things. One of my, I laughed about that you were Liza Minnelli's doorman.
That's right. Liza Minnelli, Howard Cosell, Tom Selleck. I met a guy in a bar we just got chatting, and he said, "Hey, if you want a job, I'm quitting tomorrow." And just walk into this place, and this guy loved Irish people, so he quit, and I just walked in, passed him in the doorway, and I got the job. So that was 1990. I went to San Francisco after that. But I was playing and working at the same time, you know.
Oh, I assumed that. Yeah.
Center, you know, I worked in landscaping all day, and then I would gig at night. That day is gone now, sadly.
Full-time musician these days.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about this beautiful new album called The Art of Feeling Blue. I thought when I first heard this album, I told Matt, you cannot pin Bob down to genres. He's all over the place, which is just wonderful. I said, kind of feel like he's a cross between Robert Earl Keen and Sting.
Oh, wow. Yeah. There's two poles apart there. You know, when finally, I think it was Lucinda Williams, Car Wheels on a Gravel Floor, which is probably 20 years old, if not 30. When I first started hearing that and hearing John Hyatt, I realized it gets bluesy, little country, little rock. I finally found a home. The label Americana covered all that. I guess, I mean, I'm not as sophisticated as Sting, but yeah, I'm certainly I'm in the middle of that probably somewhere, or aspire to be.
Let's do a second song off of this. And this is probably my favorite song off the album, and I want to talk about it a little bit. This is called Rosa.
The pain, and so it begins. We're on our way. The highway is clear, but for one single crow, the border is near. Adios, Mexico. How long before they open the door? I remember you, Rosa. I'll send for you as soon as I can. Think of me, Rosa, I am your man. I lie through the crack as the crow flies to freedom and back, we lucky few rats. Think of the smile I treasure the most. I'll be back in a while. Adios, adios. How long until we drink our fill? I remember you, Rosa. I'll send for you as soon as I can. Sing for me, Rosa, I am your man.
I love the horns in that song, Bob. I understand there's a story behind that. Please tell me.
Well, the horns, there's a well-known band out of Tucson, Arizona called Calexico. Jacob Valenzuela, so he plays trumpet on this.
I didn't know that at all.
Yes, I tracked him down through Facebook, actually. How about that? And asked him to play on it. So that song, Rosa, started as a kind of a jam, my band in the studio. Then we made a little kind of a suite out of it, little introduction with the bells, and of course and then the story, which is of crossing the border, and it doesn't go well. You know, I guess it's of the moment, it's timely. I figured it's kind of like when words aren't enough, when it's chaos, musical chaos, let's say. And I hope the outro, the guys just take off. We've stand-up bass and an electric bass and a bunch of guitars. It tells a little story. Yeah. So glad you like it. Yes.
Oh, I did. Very,
Cool.
very much. I want to ask, too, about your cover on your new album. It's really magnificent, and I understand Bob Maloney did that for you. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah. Well, Bob Maloney also, he's done a couple of covers for me now. I had an album called Queen of the West with the same sort of idea. You know, an image within a silhouette, and we've reversed it here. These are photographs of me that Bob has painted. The idea is that I am standing in a doorway about to go to work, but my head is, I guess if you can't see it, it's hard to describe. But yeah, it's kind of the duality of man, whatever. No, it's just two sides of a songwriter. Outward facing, and then you go to work, you go into the workspace, I'm carrying my guitar case. And then, so it's kind of a double image. Some of there's camels on one side and there's a bar on the other side, which refers to some songs on the album. Yeah, I'm actually having vinyl pressed in Czechoslovakia because it takes so long now to get them pressed in the States. I am really excited to see how this will look, full size. He's a professor at the Mass Art College of Art.
They'd make great T-shirts, too.
Oh my goodness, didn't think. Now there you go. I'll give you a cut of that. He's also a friend, and we collaborate on this. I'm so pleased.
It's just terrific. It really is. Jumped right out at me. I think it's important to let people know that you did graduate from Berklee School of Music, which is a very fine institution.
I graduated in 2009. I was still in my 40s. Some of the things that I was taught back then is only sinking in now. I did a lot of songwriting, took a lot of songwriting classes there with a guy called Pat Pattison, who's a terrific teacher. And sometimes even now I'll think, that's what he meant, you know. Yeah, so I did that. That was kind of crazy, but I did it. Huge thing for me to graduate.
You bet. My father used to say that's something that no one can ever take away from you. My special guest today is singer-songwriter Bob Bradshaw. Bob has a brand new album, terrific new album called The Art of Feeling Blue. And by the way, you're going to be doing a gig I saw coming up here on Saturday, June the 17th, which is a album release show at the Lizard Lounge at 8 o'clock p.m. in Cambridge, Massachusetts. That should be a great show. You've got other artists I saw on the bill there with you.
Almost the entire band, all the people who were on here, save one, I think, are with me that night. I'm very excited that I rarely get the opportunity to have everyone play. So it's going to be quite something. We don't have Jacob on trumpet. We have everyone else.
He's a fantastic trumpet player.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
I was on the radio down there for 9 years in Tucson and saw them quite often. They're very talented. Yeah.
Yes.
Let's do a third song from the album that you wrote. How's Hot in the Kitchen sound?
Wonderful.
I guess I got a mean streak right down the middle. Maria keeps saying I'm a piece of work. I'm on the fry. Maria's on the griddle. She tells you pitch in? Oh, we'll be here till midnight. Hey, Maria, can't you see I'm slammed? Don't you stand so near. Maria, it just got way too hot in here. Tired of the kitchen. I don't know if I got what it takes. Please stop your bitching, for heaven's sake. Hot in the kitchen. Thanks a lot, Mr. Fahrenheit. Maria, won't you pitch in? Oh, we'll be here till midnight.
That's another great song from the album. We could have just taken every single one of them on there, Bob, and you would have pleased me. I like it so well. Let's also point out that you have a great website, which is bobbradshaw.net. Facebook presence is Bob Bradshaw Music. And you have a terrific YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/BGBradshaw. There are some incredibly good videos on there. Exotic Dancers Wanted, Crazy Heart, Home, and of course, When I Was God.
Oh, yes. I think that was my first video.
It's
Yeah.
great. It really is. Yes.
Good.
That was it's very, very good. Yeah, absolutely. So what's next, Bob?
From career-wise, or
Yeah.
or- you know, I don't know. Things are changing so fast. It's hard. You know, people don't buy music anymore. Actually, ironically, there's a song on here called "Stepping Stones," and I guess every album, every show is a stepping stone to the next thing. I don't know. Some nice attention for this album from you guys, and then from England. Brought the guys to Ireland for a tour last year, and would like to do that again later this year, perhaps. Yeah, I want to keep playing, keep writing. But this is certainly a big stepping stone for me, having interviewed me, Greg.
Glad you mentioned that song because that was one that I really thought you sounded like Robert Earl Keen on.
My friend Chad, who was in a band with me like 25 years ago, he's in David Grisman Quintet. So that ties in. I guess Grisman and Robert Earl Keen would have played together perhaps over the years, I would think. So there's a connection there. Yeah.
My special guest today, Boston area singer-songwriter, guitar player Bob Bradshaw. Bob has a brand new album out that's just terrific called The Art of Feeling Blue. You can see him on his YouTube channel at RG Bradshaw. His next gig is Saturday, June the 17th at the Lizard Lounge in Cambridge, Massachusetts, 8 o'clock p.m. Facebook is Bob Bradshaw Music. Bob, thank you so very much for joining me here today. It's been an absolute pleasure. Let's go out with one more song off of The Art of Feeling Blue, the title cut. How's that sound?
That sounds fantastic, Greg. Great talking with you. Bye-bye.
I'm something of an expert in the art of feeling blue. I got a gift for finding hurt. Any excuse will do. For feeling blue, I pretend I'm tough as nails, but the color of always fails. I'm a lonely one, champion in the art of feeling blue. I'm something of a craftsman in the art of feeling blue. You swear I had a master plan, a detailed overview. For feeling blue, I employ this set of skills to the prophecies fulfilled. For pitiful me, another victory in the art of feeling blue. Blue feelings attached to my heart. Why do I go back? You wouldn't understand unless you came out of the blue. I'm something of a master in the art of feeling blue. Out of the sea of disaster, painting every hue. I'm feeling blue. I work both day and night to get the colors right. As I create this self-portrait, the art of